Hello everyone, welcome once again. Today we are going to study a new chapter of 6th class, that is light, shadow and reflections. So let's start with light. Light is the natural agent that stimulates sight and makes things visible. You can imagine if there will be no light, what will happen? We will not be able to see anything. Its path is only visible when it is scattered by dust particle. Fine. We can see the path of light when there will be dust particles. For example, when you are sitting in sun rays in a dark room, the sun rays will come. You can see the dust particles with the sun rays. Next is light is a form of invisible energy. Light is also a form of energy. We cannot see light, but light helps us to see everything. Next is light itself is not visible. We cannot see light, right? We cannot see light, but light helps us to see everything around us. It makes other objects visible. Light helps us to see the objects. Light and the eyes both are necessary to see the things. We need both the things to see the surroundings of ours. We should have light as well as we should have eyes. The sensation which helps us to see things is called sight or vision. It is the sight or vision which helps us to see the things around us. Now, let's discuss about the different sources of light. The largest source of light on earth is sun, stars, electric torch, candle flame. These all help us to see. Because in daylight, sun is there. It is the largest source of energy. We do not need anything else to see when there is sunlight. Next is light is classified into two. One is emission of light. Emission means the light is coming out. Classifying objects on the basis of emission. Luminous object, the object which gives light, which emit their light. Objects which emit their own light are called luminous objects. For example, a candle. If you will burn a candle, it will give its own light. Light will be produced by the candle. Or electric torch. If you switch on that torch, the light will be produced. Next one is non-luminous object. Objects which do not have their own light are seen by the light scattered by them. Fine. For example, moon. Moon does not have its own light, but we can see the moon. We can see moon as a round light. For example, chair, table. We can see the chair and table, but they do not have their own light. We can see them with the help of other lights. Next is optical media. Any substance which allows light to pass through it either partially or wholly is called an optical media. For example, transparent. We can say all substances that allow light to pass freely through them are called transparent object. For example, glass. If you have glass window, you can see through the window whatever is happening inside the room, or from the room you can see outside whatever is happening outside. Water, air, etc. These all are transparent. Means if it is there in front of us, we can see the second side, another side of it. And next one is translucent. Translucent means a substance that allows light to pass through it only partially. It allows the light to pass partially. Means not completely transparent, not completely opaque. They are the medium one. For example, butter paper. You can just do one thing. Take one paper and apply some oil on it. And after applying oil, just look through this paper on the light. What you will see? The light will be partially visible. Next is opaque. Opaque are those objects which do not allow the light to pass through them. For example, book, brick, wall. All the objects that do not allow the light to pass through them are called opaque object. Now, we have discussed about light and the type of objects: luminous, non-luminous, transparent, translucent and opaque. Now, we will talk about type of shadows. And what is shadow? A shadow is the region of absence of light. Just suppose here is light and there you are standing. You are standing on this place. Light is there. Sun is giving light. If any object is there, then what will happen? It will become any object between you and light, and shadow will be formed. Shadow of that object will be formed. So shadow is the region of absence of light. Means it makes the light absent from that place. Light from a source is cut off by an obstacle. So this object which is there in between you and light, this is obstacle and it forms shadow. Next is opaque object cast a dark shadow. The objects which are opaque, they have dark shadow. Translucent object produce weak shadow. Transparent object do not cast a shadow at all. They do not produce shadow or at all. So these are the three different type of objects who makes their shadow. Now types of shadow. The kind of shadow depends upon the size of the source of light. One is due to smaller light source. Only one dark shadow is formed and this is known as umbra. If the source of light is small, then only one dark shadow is formed and this is known as umbra. Next is due to larger extended light source. Two shadows are formed, a dark one in the center and a light one on the outside. Dark shadow is called umbra and the faint or lighter shadow is called penumbra. So fine, when we are getting only one shadow or it is also dark, then it will be umbra. And if we are seeing two shadows, one is light, one is dark, then it will be one is umbra, dark one is umbra and light one is penumbra. The size of the umbra decreases and penumbra increases as the screen is moved away from the object. If you will move away from that object, the size of umbra will decrease, means dark shadow will decrease and light shadow will increase. Next is color of shadow. Whatever be the color of the opaque object, the shadow formed is always of the same color. Shadow is always black. It does not depend on the color of the object. Either it is green, red, yellow, blue, whatever. But the shadow will always be black. Length of the shadow. The length of the shadow depends upon the angle at which light falls on a body. The length of the shadow is decided by the angle at which the light is falling. Now, let's discuss about eclipse. Eclipse is a shadow formed in the space that makes the sun or moon invisible for some time. Fine. So, sun or moon are invisible for some time. That condition is called eclipse. Eclipse is the overshading of a bright object. A bright object is overshading the sun or moon. For example, solar eclipse. The moons come between the sun and the earth. This one is moon. It comes between sun and earth. This one is sun, this one is earth and this one is moon. If moon comes between sun and earth, this is called solar eclipse. Solar eclipse occurs on new moon day. And lunar eclipse is the moon and the sun are in straight line. This one is moon and this one is sun. Sun and moon are in straight line such that the earth is in between the sun and moon. Now earth is between both of them. So this condition known as lunar eclipse and it occurs on full moon light. So this is difference between solar and lunar eclipse. Now reflection of light. The process of sending back the light rays which falls on the surface of an object is called reflection. Bending of light due to any object is called reflection. Silver metal is one of the best reflector of light. So that's all about this chapter. I hope you got some ideas about this chapter. For more, stay connected to my channel. Thank you and have a good day to all of you.